Okay, welcome everyone who are in the broadcast right now. So maybe let us spend around 3 more minutes to wait for the others before we start. Okay, is everyone can hear me? If let's say you can hear me, you can type okay. I mean in the comment. Good evening, Dr. Husni. Okay, so is my internet okay? Because I see the image is like lagging part. Let me check. Okay, so maybe let us start right now. So today we will talk about the career goals. Okay, so how do we actually set up a good career goal, and what is why this career goal is important to us. Okay, as we know that career is actually playing a very big I think playing a very big roles in our life. When since after maybe after we graduate, we will straight away enter the society, enter the social world, and this career actually playing a very big part. So if let's say we can achieve the career satisfaction, it also directly affect our life satisfactions. That's why if let's say we can have our career goals, so at least we know where we actually going to heading to. Okay. And okay, so maybe some of the people will say that what if I don't know what is my career goal, or I don't have any career goals. So if let's say you don't have any, or you are actually you have no idea what is career goal means, so it actually similar to you driving a car without any directions in your futures. So career goal is actually playing a very important role. It's just like our GPS system. So when we set up our destination, it actually bring us okay through the toward the destination. Okay, so even though in maybe in the in the way that you are going to the destination, you might turn the wrong way, but the GPS always teaches bringing us back to the correct path, okay, to help us to reach our destination. So that's why career goal is very important, especially if you want to have to feel passionate in our career, in our future career, or want to successful in our future career. So it's very important to know what is our career goal. Okay, and I right now it's still possible for us, to set our career goal. There is no age limit lah. Maybe some of the people say that okay, my age is 40 years already. I cannot. That is useless for me to set up any career goal right now. Or or I'm too young, I'm no need to think about that. Actually, career goal it doesn't have any age limit. Okay, you can always think about that, and then you can always figure out what to do. Okay, how to we achieve the career goal. Okay. Okay, so today actually we it's a very short sharing, and we're going to share around 40 minutes. Then after 40 minutes, if let's say you have any questions to ask, you can just type in the comment uh chat box. Then I will read through the question. If let's say we don't have any questions for today, then we might end it early, like 40 minutes lah. Okay, so today we will be touching these four steps. So the step one is formulate a goal. So how do we actually form the goal? Okay, the second one, commit to reaching your goal. Okay, what kind of goal is able for us to commit? Okay, the meanings of commitment. What is the meanings of commitment? Okay, then the step three is plan it. Okay, plan your career. Then the step four is actually the most important part, but is actually the biggest part lah for our career searching sharing. So because today we only have around 40 minutes to 1 hour, so I will only touch a little bit lah. I mean, briefly share about how do we design our career. So if you want to know it, I mean, you stay until the last lah. Okay, so how to formulate a goal? Okay, formulate a goal. When we think about goal, maybe it is simple if we think about what I want, right? So what I want in my futures. Okay, who I want to be in the futures, or let's say in our living environment. I mean, in Asian culture, that is always parents or friends, or relative that always suggest us that okay, you should you should be this one. Okay, you should have this as your career goal. Okay, you should be a doctor, or you should be a businessman. Okay, this is all maybe parents or relative that always tell us what do uh we want to be. I mean, what do we supposed to be in the futures? So but then back to the basic. Okay, what I want, that is very important. Okay, maybe one thing list. I know every years, okay, every new year's we will have some one thing list, right? We'll list down, okay, this year I going to achieve um what I'm going to achieve and what should I achieve, a lot of things. This is what we call one thing list. Okay, then what is the meanings of committing? Okay, so when we're looking at these two part, one thing and committing, which one do you think is more powerful? Okay, maybe we can look into a little bit more further. So let us see the conversation between these two peoples. Okay, a ladies and a gentleman. Okay, the ladies, the white shirt ladies actually tell the gentleman that okay, I really want to backpack through Asia next week. Okay, I really want to backpack through Sabah, Sarawak, East Malaysia next year. Okay, I really want. Okay, then the gentleman actually tell the ladies that I'm backpacking through Asia next year, no matter what. So from these two parts, okay, let us label one and two. Okay, which one do you think is actually refer to one thing? You can just type the numbers lah in the chat box, one or two. Let's see any reply. Okay, so basically it's very easy to differentiate what is one and what is committing. Okay, so want, okay, the first one actually refer to one thing, and the second one refer to committing. Committing is something like, okay, I ready to commit, okay, in what I say. Okay, and no matter what, I going to backpacking through Asia next year. Okay, one thing is that I want, only I want, I want to do this, I want to do that, and we know that one thing is never stop and is automatically formed. throughout the years we grow up. Okay, so maybe since you are 21 years old, you have been seeing a lot of things, right? Then it automatically add in our wanting list. Okay, for example, oh, I want to have a very big house, I want to have a very beautiful car, luxury car. So all these things is actually a form through our value system, since we are born until today, the age. Okay, so one thing this is never stop. Okay, I want to travel around the world. I want to have a work-life balance. I want to have financial freedom. So a lot of this kind of wanting list, and it never stop. Always added. The list is always added. So that is very important if we can put our wanting list to committing. Okay, let's say you want this thing, and if let's say you only want it and you don't plan to commit it, then it will be always just a wanting list. So it's very important for us to actually transform our wanting list to committing. Okay, so while talking to what I want, so after this, I mean sharing sessions lah, because you can take out a paper, empty paper, then you just list down whatever that you want in your future's career and your life. Okay, maybe you want to have a very freedom job. Let's say you want to have a very big business. You want to own many monies. You want to have work-life balance, financial freedoms. You want to travel around the world. You want to retire at the age of 25, 30s. You just write down everything, okay, that you want in your future's career and your life. Okay, and then after you finish, okay, your list, then try to check it. Okay, go through the list and identify what is the biggest things that you want. Okay, what is the most important thing that you want, and the thing that you might consider committing to later. Okay, you might consider to put effort in. Okay, so through the list, if let's say you don't know how to choose, right? Okay, a lot of lists, you maybe 20 point, 30 point, and you don't know how to choose it, then you ask yourself a few questions. Okay, for example, do I really want this, or do I want it because I'm supposed to want it? Okay, do I want it because my parents told me to do that? Okay, so that is another thing. If let's say you have any dreams you once had but you already gave up, okay, you feel like you are impossible to do it, bring it back again and write into the what I want this. Okay, through this, maybe after this, you can search what you can do. We will talk about this later on creating possibility by our own. Okay, so just list down everything and then go through it and identify the biggest things that you want, the most important thing that you want in your life. Okay, that is very important lah, because during our journey in our university, we never think about that because we are enjoying our uni life, right? So but then right now, if let's say we can sit down and think what I really want in my futures, so it's worth to spend time on that actually. Okay, okay, so this is the examples actually I plan to show you guys. I just write down the one list is actually more than this, but I just pick a few and I put into the slide. Okay, this is my one list. So I want to be successful. Okay, to me, being successful means having a very big house or luxury car. I want to make a lot of money. Okay, I think this is many people having the same one list for a lot of money. Okay, I want to enjoy my work, so it often feel more like play than work. Okay, I want a job that doesn't take over my entire life. I want to have work-life balance. Okay, it's like everyone dreams, right? This one, I want my work to include adventure and dangers. I want to expert in some specialty. I want to be self-employed or entrepreneur. I want to be highly respected at work. Okay, so by looking at the one list, maybe you have many 10 or 20, that is okay. So reading through it one by one and then asking yourself, is this really important to me by making a lot of money, or is it my top priority to enjoy my work, or I wish I can be the professionals in some of the specific sectors. So by reading through it and then I pick, okay, and I pick which one is really important to me. Okay, so I make a tick. Okay, maybe I want to. Okay, yes, I want to make a lot of money. I wish I can have a work-life balance. I want to be expert in some specialists. I want to be okay, this is what I think. Okay, is important to me. Okay, then the next step is try to arrange it. Okay, based on the priority. Okay, so I will arrange it like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the first thing, I want to make a lot of money. That is my top priority. Let's say, okay. Then the second one, I want to be expert. The third one, I want to be highly respected at work. And the fourth one, I want a job that doesn't take over my entire life, and so on. Okay, so this is the one list, and after this sharing, I encourage everyone, just try it. Okay, just try it and list down, and then you will see what is exactly the things that you want, and what is the top priority among your one list. Okay, and let's say you have any questions, right? Throughout the sharing, you can always type in the comment box. Okay, so after we identify what is the major things that we want, or what is the major goal, major wants, okay, that we put in the top priority, and okay, we put aside first this one list, and we try to look about think about this. Okay, we're talking about goal. So actually, there is two types of goal. I'm not sure whether you are aware of it or not, but okay, that is we say surface goal and real goal. Okay, surface goal is, what is surface goal? Is like easily see. Okay, for example, I want to make a lot of money. That is a surface goal. It's more easy for us to detect. Okay, but under the making a lot of money, what is the real expectation behind making a lot of money, or what is the main motive that makes you feel like you want to make a lot of money? That one, we call it real goal. Okay, so it's very important for us to identify the real goal. I will share a story with you later. Okay, so a story I prepare is a story of a lawyer, a successful lawyer. Okay, so this lawyer, maybe we name this person name, maybe name him. What name should I name him? Okay, maybe name him Albert. Okay, let's say this Albert is a lawyer school student, and he have the goal, the career goal of making a lot of money during the university time. Okay, this is the top goal that he have, and he shared that he promised that he will be successfully earn a lot of money. And then he working so hard and so difficult, to get into the top lawyer school, and having a top result, and graduate with a very distinguished, the first grade graduations. And then he also successfully entered the very a big firm, okay, very famous firm. And then on that day, he started to fix, or he set his goal uh, for wanting a lot of money, or want a lot of money. He working so hard since student time until the working time. He almost working for 24 hours, 12 hours per day, like attending clients, going court. And even though he already having a form, build up the families with his wife and the children, but he don't have time for them, because he have the goal for making a lot of money. That's why he is like, every time every day he's thinking, okay, how can I make more money, how can I get more client, how can I attend the client, so that the client will be like the service, something like that. Okay, and then one day, this person, one of his friends started to, maybe the coach, okay, the what we call the career coach, started to ask this lawyer, what is your career goal, or what is your life goal? Okay, this person, Albert, automatically answer that, oh, I want to make a lot of money. That is my goal. I want to make a lot of money, so I can buy a lot of things that I want. I can buy a big house. I can stay in the town, town area, and a lot of things. Okay, and then this coach is been like continual asking, okay, why do you need a lot of money? For example, like just now he answered like want to buy a lot of things, right? So if let's say you have all monies, you have monies, you're able to stay at the in the town, and you're having a very big house, you're having a very nice car, having a lot of the luxury things, you have high tech furniture and all these things. So after you having all these things, what is the real thing that you wish to have? Then finally, this Albert answering that actually, by having all these things, I feel like I able to respect by the others. So when you look into this, the finals, right? The finals goal or the finals things that this person want is to be comfortable and respected by the others. Okay, so yes, I know that money maybe can be a tool, to achieve this goal, the real goal. Okay, but it also having another way for him to achieve the comfortable and respected by the others. Okay, it not necessary because this person, this Albert, until the day that he have a lot of money, a very big house, but he couldn't find the satisfaction, the life satisfaction, because he's like using most of the time in only work without any other things, work and the materialism and all these things. So by knowing the real goal, we won't lose our path in only, trying to chase or trying to catch our surface goal. Okay, so by identify the real goal, so from here the one list, okay, after you identify the one list, you take the top priority that you think you want, and then you ask yourself, okay, why do I want to be this? Okay, why do I want to be successful person? Why do I want to do what I want to do? Okay, this is kind of the questions that you can ask to yourself to identify what is the real goal inside you. Okay, what it is going to give me? What is the big benefit if I achieve this thing? Okay, the right hand side is actually the example that I give just now. I want to make a lot of money. Then why I want to live in town if you have a big house? Why do you want to live in town and own a big house? Okay, to be comfortable and respected. So it's very, very important for us to identify our real goal. Okay, so and then after you identify all these things, right? Okay, one list, and you also identify the goals. Then maybe some of the people say that, okay, that is useless. I've been born like this, even though I have the goal, but it's still impossible for me to achieve. Okay, so now we will be discuss a little bit about what's possible. So creating new possibility. Okay, what might be possible? These two sentence we always have to ask ourselves. Okay, beside this, another story to share. Storytelling sessions today. Okay, so this story is actually a engineer student, not Uniten student. It's a story. Okay, so this engineer, the course of engineer is actually parents ask her to study. Okay, it's like parents already fix. Okay, you have to study the engineer, arrange all the path to this person, to these girls. Okay, these ladies. And this girl student, he actually passionate so much in designing, okay, in creative things. Like he like to draw, he like to think about like creative, he like to create something new. Okay, this is what he really passionate with. Okay, if we only look by this, if we only see the component of this, okay, engineer and also arts, we call it, right, designing, creative, all these things seem like that is two different things, right, two different sectors. But this student, this lady student, he keep asking, okay, what is the new possibility? What might be possible? That I can use my passionate while fulfilling what my parents' expectations. Okay, and finally, this student came out that he found out that he have the ability, to create something new. For example, engineering. She's like more focus into like designing the new things like civil engineering. They have to design the buildings and all these things, right? The way they link all the electricity, how should make them more beautiful. So these ladies actually use her passionate in this, create a new possibility about this. Okay, so that is also my one of my friends, one of my colleagues. Okay, she told me, you know, she's very worried about her subject, that can't get any job opportunity outside. Okay, she is also study counseling like me, and then one day the lecturer told him, okay, why not you just create some new possibility? Okay, how to create some new possibility? Maybe you come out some new things, you know, try to do some new research, come out some new theory, or you try to, you know, come up some paper and you sell your papers, or you start out your own business. That is a lot of possibility. Just wait us to be, you know, find for us to discover the new possibility. So this is my one of my colleagues told me that he is, you know, worrying about this, and finally he found out that there is a lot of new possibility. So if let's say you want, like just now I said, if let's say you want and you're willing to commit it, that is always a possibility. Okay, and then maybe some of the people say that, okay, it's still too abstract. I cannot imagine, okay, what kind of possibility that I have. Okay, so now maybe I can introduce you some of the magical questions. Okay, let's say today you have some magic. Okay, you've been giving a magic stick, you know, like Harry Potter, all these things, right? So you get the chance to choose the kind of life that you want to have, the kind of job that you will do, and where you live. Okay, you get to choose all these component, external component. Okay, but the only condition is you will be the same you. Okay, for example, you are okay, for example, here I write, you if you can't sing, okay, you can't pick singer as a career. So you have to remain as who you are, but you get the new chance to choose what kind of life you want, what kind of job that you want, where do you want to live. Okay, and you start to think about that, try to imagine a little bit, and then find out, okay, what is the new possibility from there. Okay, because maybe I just share like that, you don't have any what we say, the imagination lah. But after these sessions, after this sharing, you know, you can try to think about that before you sleep, you know, lie on the bed. Okay, let's say today I have my magic stick, and tomorrow I can play some magic, you know, to make my life as what I want. So what can I do? What I will be changed, you know, and what is the lifestyle that I really want to have. Okay, from here you will figure out some of the possible that can make by that. Okay, and then okay, so now we will going into, okay, the one and the committing part. I already finished that part, so it's very important to put our wanting list to committing. So if let's say you have already very strong committing list, and you are very firm that you very firm that you can do this, and you also figure out your real goal. Okay, you don't have to go with this part also, okay, what possible. This is for those people who are still doubt on themselves, then they can try these things. Okay, so the next part is commit to reaching your goal. Okay, I think this is very very familiar for everyone's, right? Smart. I think so. Should be familiar, this one. Okay, so the power of promise, a solid commitment, is very very important. Okay, for example, right, so the goal that you set, it must be specific. Okay, it cannot be, okay, I want to be rich man, saya nak kaya. Kaya tu macam mana? How to measure that you actually already rich? Okay, so the thing that you make, it have to be measurable. You need to can measure. For example, I want to be a nice person. So how to measure a nice person? So you have to identify that. So an achievable, realistic, and time bound. It's like having a specific time lah. So I'm making examples. Okay, only examples lah. The solid commitment or the solid goal. Okay, for example, this sentence, I will become a successful counselor by 2026. It means 5 years after this lah. Okay, so I will identify what is the meanings of successful. Okay, so to me, successful is able to give more than 100 mental health speech and assist more than thousands clients within these 5 years. So when you see about this sentence, you will be notice you will be notice that I have the time bound, right? 5 years from now to 2026. Okay, and I also identify what is the meanings of successful. Okay, it's very specific, right? And the measurable is, okay, accumulate. I have to complete 100 and 1,000, assist 1,000 client, and is very realistic, right? 5 year should be able to complete this, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and when you set up your goal, don't be too simple. For example, maybe I said, to me, successful is able to give more than 50 mental health within this 5 year. Means 1 year is only 10 speech. Okay, maybe assist only 50 clients. So there is no challenging. There is no value for your commitment. Okay, I hope you guys understand. Okay, right? Boleh ya? Okay, so that is very important. And main things I want to highlight here is I view when you set up your commitment based on the wanting list, after you list out all the wanting list and you set up your commitment, use the positive sentence, how to say, the structure sentence. Okay, for example, I will become. Okay, not I may become. I may become is like, oh, it's still possibility that might be fail. So just put I will. Okay, saya akan. Something like that. Okay, so this is very important. I guess the SMART goal setting is very common. So I will just run through by this. Okay, then the third part, plan it. Okay, you have already the goal, right? Okay, I want to become a successful counselor, or I want to become a very good electrical engineering, by 2026, and able to be, maybe own some new position like manager. I want to become a manager, something like that. Okay, so after you set up your solid commitment, or we call it a SMART goal, then you have to think about how can I achieve. You have to plan it. Okay, the goal is very big. Okay, the goal is very big. Okay, I want to be rich people, or I want to be a successful man. So how to do it? Okay, you need to have step 1, step 2, step 3. So this one you have to plan it by yourself when you are free. During your free time, you're able to sit down and think about that, seeing the step 1 and then step 2, and then until this step 3, project planning. We call it project planning. So how to do? Okay, maybe step 1, for my case, maybe I will be try my best to gather more experiences, attend more classes. Okay, maybe step 2 for me is getting my license. Okay, step 3, how should I achieve this? Okay, and one thing I want to highlight here is things always doesn't go with what we expect. So if let's say you can think about what kind of obstacle that you might have, that is also like additional point to your plan, to your career plan. Okay, so far so good. So this is kind of like when we listen to it, it's very easy lah. The theory is kind of like easy to understand, but when we want to really practical it, when we want to plan it, when we want to think about, okay, what I want, okay, what is my goal, what is the possibility, how should I achieve this? Okay, that is a long journey. I mean, that is a long process lah. I don't think is able to complete in a day. And let's say you already completed, it will be a change also, slightly change also for the project planning part in the futures. Okay, so wow, so far it's already the last slide. Okay, so the last one, this is like just now I said, this is only how to say, consider the majority part, the major part of the just now is only like the dessert, now is only the main course, but because we don't have much time, and as you know that in our SGU we have many counselors, you can go and find them to take a look on this career path. Okay, so by this I'm going to share with you is how do we design our career. So basically we are playing 3 roles, different roles in searching our career. So for the first part is detective. Okay, why it is called detective is to find and investigate the clue about potential career design and elements. Okay, for example, you observe. Okay, try to observe your around, after you identify a one list, right? So now you try to observe around. Okay, since I think I have, okay, for example, I think I have the ability of drawing. Okay, you can write it down. Detective, try to like search the clue around you. Okay, maybe your friend tell you that, oh, you are so talkative, you are so friendly. Okay, this is also one of the clue. Okay, write down in the detective column. Okay, so maybe when doing some project in Unit 10, maybe you are doing some lab work. Oh, you found that, okay, wow, I'm so interested to build up a robot, for example. Okay, I'm so interested to do some lab work. I'm so interested to touch all the engine part things. Okay, this is also one of the clue that show that you might have the potential elements in your career. Okay, so you just try to list out everything. Okay, and then I below that I have write some questions, right? Who you are, why you work, where you work. Okay, this one is very interesting that I guess most of the people who came to Unit 10 you done before for the career interest test. Okay, that one is also considered one of the detective progress. You search what is your interest. That is one of the detective part. And also some of the people you might try before, right? Doing some personality tests. Okay, and maybe some of the people you are having some working experience before you enter university. All these are actually the clue around us that help us to identify what is my potential career design element. Okay, from here we are narrow or we are filtered into decider. Decider is like you decide. Okay, after you find a lot of clue, okay, maybe 50 clue, 100 clue from your environments, from the test, from the assessment that you do, career interest test, work value inventory test. Okay, all these things. After you getting all these things, okay, you hold in your hand all this clue, then you identify which one is definitely you want to have in your future career. Okay, for example, maybe you like to draw or you like to design, and in the process of decider, you decide that, okay, I really really want this component to be in my future's career. I really want to have this design component in my futures. Or you are very, or for example, maybe you are in the detective part, you found that you are very good in presenting or you are very good in talking, for example, very friendly. So in the decided part, then you started to decide, okay, whether this want to be the firmly, okay, want to be the definitely want to be a one of the component in your career. Okay, let's say you want to, okay, I want to take talking, okay, as the main part. Okay, that is my example lah. Okay, I like to talk. And through the detective part, I found that actually I feel helping people, I feel like I can gain some satisfactions. So this is through my detective part, right? And through the decider process, I decide, okay, I must have this component in my future's career. So I bring these two things, helping others, like to talk, talkative, these two things, and I bring it into designer, and I started to figure out what kinds of career can match with my the component that I get from the detective part. Okay, so I hope you guys can be understand. And this process is not easy lah. It's like, it's like through observation, through maybe how people tell you about who you are. You're doing some tests, spend a few time, and it's good if you can spend time to discover it, and then you come up with the designer lah. In the designer part, you combine all the career component and narrow down it and find out what you want. So just like the example that I give just now, the engineer, but at the same time she like to design. So how do we actually able to put this component into the career? Okay, so this is what I mean lah, the designing your career. So this is actually the main part for formulate a final career goal, and it is a very long process. And actually I have the worksheet that I designed by myself, but it's so difficult for me to show right now. But let's say you want to know more about this, you are so welcome to come to SGU, student guidance unit. We have a lot of training counselor there. They are able to help you with this. Okay, for example, maybe you bring a list, a lot of long one list, and you go to the office, or you say, hey, I have all this one list, but I don't know how to decide which is my priority. Okay, that is no problem. Use the service in SGU. to help you to identify your future's career. Okay, so I guess this is my very, very short sharing today. So let's see what do we have. Do we have questions today or no? If no, then we can end it early lah. Okay, let me read. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Husni. I like that idea. Imagine that I have the magic to change my life. What would it be? Okay, so maybe we spent around 3 to 5 minutes. So let's see whether we have any questions or not. If no, then we can end our sessions. The sharing today lah. So I hope it able to help you at least to think about, have some idea about, okay, what I want in the futures. Not only that we have to follow others people expectation, because life is ours, right? So we have to think about what I really want in my futures, and I ready to commit it no matter what. Okay, so when you set up your goal, you can march forward for that. Okay, so that is also one of my story. My degree is not in counseling sector. My degree is in Bachelor of Science in Construction sector. So through the career searching process, right, I have kind of like very big feelings, also reflection also through the process, and I found that, okay, no matter what, I want to have these two components that I said just now. No matter what, I want to have these two components in my future's career. And then finally, at the age of 26 or 27, I guess, and I pick up the courage and I step out from the previous career, and I jump into the counseling sector. But surely because I have gathered some of the experiences lah for 3 years, so I using my experiences to apply to be entering this new sector lah. So it's totally new for me. It's struggling, but I understand what I want to have in my future's career. Okay, seem like that is no questions. So we shall end it early lah. And I wish everyone to have a very good and nice weekend, coming weekend. Enjoy your weekend and enjoy your night. Okay, the night is still young. Okay, that's all for today. Good night.